Welcome back, everybody, to Let's Play Amy Rose in Sonic 1. We've arrived at perhaps the most frustrating level in Sonic 1. Labyrinth Zone. Yippee. Now, I don't really have a personal vibe with this level. I don't have anything against it, because it's a pretty good level. It's very challenging, level design's pretty good, the music's really good, too. But it's full. I mean, really full of dick moves. And in some ways, it's even more annoying than Scrap Brain Zone. One reason? The water. Most of the time, you're going to be spending your time underwater. And of course, if you're overconfident and you decide to skip bubbles, and another pile of bubbles decides to be a dick and doesn't decide to give you a big bubble to breathe from, well, you're screwed. And you'll end up having to start back from quite a bit if you either skip by checkpoints or, considering how far apart the checkpoints are in this level, the main point is this level's hard, okay? This level's hard, and just really irritating, especially if you're trying to keep a hold of 50 rings, because of those grounders. Those grounders are the new bees. If you are a new-time player or somebody who hasn't played the game in a while, you're probably not going to expect when they hop out. And they love, they love to hop out at the worst times, especially when you just so happen to not have a shield. Everything else I can bear through, but those grounders are just annoying. Nowadays I'm more smart to play a little slower and pay attention to the ground where I can see their little noses. There is one other enemy in this level that's also annoying, but at least he's more rare, so you don't have to put up with him as much. But they strategically put those guys in places where they're most likely to be annoying. But fortunately they're rare, so nothing to worry about there. You just have to pay good attention to where the grounders are placed. Overall, though, I'd say this level's not that bad. I mean, after you've played through it enough and you've gotten used to it, I'm pretty sure you can beat the level easily. Or at least the two first acts, anyway. The last part of the third act is just so annoying. And you'll be seeing that in just a moment, near the end of this video, because I'm sure you'll get a good laugh out of it, I'm sure. Anyway, recently I've been playing Sonic CD again, and to be honest, I actually created I created an entire playthrough of it and all that, and I'm working on making it more detailed and all that jazz. So that'll probably be released sometime after my Sonic 1 playthrough. So look forward to it. Of course, that's where Amy Rose first appeared in, and I'm sure a few of you are wondering about the history behind her involvement in that whole game. I'm not sure if I elaborated on it or not, so I guess I'll go ahead and do that now. Alright, so Amy Rose. Basically, I'm not entirely sure, but I think she first met Sonic in Sonic CD. She was going to meet Sonic after apparently getting a message by these tarot cards. I'm not really sure how to say them. Some sort of spiritual reading, basically. So the spirits tell her that she will meet the love of her life at Neverlake, which is where the little planet appears in that game. When she gets there, though, supposedly in the manual she gets kidnapped, but she's around for quite a while until around the first act of the second zone. Or the second zone of the first zone of the second round, if you played the game before. Point being, she doesn't have much of a role in there necessarily, except to be Sonic's love interest, I guess, and to be the damsel in distress. Which I don't know. I'm not really big into damsel in distress roles, because it makes women look weak, when in reality they're definitely not weak. And we got all the Chaos Emeralds! Yes! Now we won't have to worry about them, and we're gonna get the good ending. How freaking za! So that won't be over anymore. Now we just have to get through the rest of the game without losing all our lives and all that. Anyway, back to what I was saying. She was basically the damsel in distress. She barely put up a fight whatsoever. I mean, really, when Metal Sonic came and took her away, she just got grabbed and she was out of there in 5 seconds. Sad, really. And that was the first time anyone got to see Amy Rose. And throughout any of the other classic games like Sonic the Fighters or Sonic R, she was in her classic design. Although she was still a bit in the reserve position, except in Sonic the Fighters, where she could actually kick some serious ass with her hammer. Which was like the first time she ever got really aggressive. Although I'm not entirely sure if the hammer is meant to be some sort of, I don't know, a womanly thing. Just like they use frying pans, how women use frying pans in older games, as some sort of nod to how women use things from the kitchen to defend themselves. But considering the hammer is not a kitchen tool, I guess that saves her from being labeled in that way. All in all, though, at least I'm happy that Amy became more independent and was able to defend herself. Though, lately, they've once again put her in the damsel in distress position, which has not made me happy whatsoever. And I'm really hoping that she'll actually get a more direct role, which I've already mentioned before. Anyhow, I think I wanted to talk about the comparison of the classic and modern Sonic games, to see where things went differently. Of course, things weren't really too different necessarily, it was just the transition between 2D and 3D. Gameplay-wise, I think the games are exactly the same, because the 3D games did feature quite a bit of platforming, as well as high-speed sections, which became commonplace in the Sonic series, starting around Sonic 2. Where it was more featured around just getting through zones quickly rather than, you know, navigating these aggravating ass tunnels and stuff. And that was more attuned to Sonic's gameplay. Point being is that Sonic games basically maintained that whole platforming feel with high-speed sections. I think where they went wrong, of course, is the fact that 3D games oftentimes had frustrating camera angles and numerous glitches, whereas the older games had tight gameplay and very few glitches. In the general playthrough, you wouldn't notice anything wrong in a 2D Sonic game, but a 3D one, anything could screw up your score. Anything. To name one, of course, is the camera angle. Sometimes the camera would get stuck behind a wall and you wouldn't see yourself. Or 2, you would just die for no absolute reason. Or 3, there is a cheaply placed enemy that just gives you a hell of a really bad time and just kills you outright. More or less, the first few Sonic Adventure games and all that were very popular, but people have said several times that where the Sonic series started to tank was around Sonic Heroes, and I think it's because, well, for one, the gameplay was repetitive, and that is definitely a no-no. All the teams basically had the same exact levels, and it's very similar, if not the exact same gameplay mechanics. And of course, it was bottomless pit hell everywhere, in every single level. So if you screwed up and fell, well, too bad, you were dead. Shadow the Hedgehog was also noted for its very terrible controls and horrible gameplay mechanics, because nothing was balanced, nothing made any sense. I mean, you could drive vehicles and use guns, both of which were not really necessary whatsoever. In fact, guns, no matter what gun you were using, all of them had the same exact power. And the motorcycles were slower than Shadow. I mean, really? And of course, came Sonic 2006, which we all know was a huge mistake. Not because of the story or anything, not because of what it was going for, but because they screwed it up entirely. They didn't fine-tune it whatsoever. It was like they quickly patched it together and just made it entirely shitfest. And I hear it's because of the director that was behind it. The director apparently fired all the beta, I'm not sure to say. Oh, well, I'll just go with beta. So he fired all the beta testers after they told him that the gameplay was horrible. And of course, that leads me to assume that they never fine-tuned it because he probably lied to the development crew. Hey, guess what? We don't have to worry. The gameplay's just fine, guys. And of course, the treacherous loading times and the very extremely pointless side quests. Like, there was absolutely no freaking point in doing any of the side quests, because you never really got any rewards except for rings, which you got enough of those from playing the actual stages to buy whatever the heck you wanted. Point being is that Sonic 2006 was the lowest point, and that was probably a point where people were starting to consider, you know what, maybe this is starting to get a little old. Maybe the 3D games just can't capture the same flawless gameplay that the old games had, you know? And that's pretty much where Sonic Unleashed came in. They tried bringing it back with other games like the Storybook series, but I'm not entirely sure how those went. I never actually played this Storybook series. Sonic Unleashed, though, tried bringing it back. In fact, to be honest, I don't think it's ever changed. I don't think the gameplay has ever really changed except for spin-off games. It's always been about platforming and high-speed sections. It's only been about fine-tuning it, though. If you don't fine-tune it, then obviously everyone's going to hate the hell out of the game. And of course, anybody's going to pick about what they hate about the games. I mean, no matter what, someone's going to hate something about the Sonic games. And when it comes down to it, at least Sega learned from their mistakes and they actually took the time out of their day to really get down to fine-tune the gameplay so that even if it felt different from the traditional 2D games, at least it was playable. And at least there wasn't as much frustrating, you know, problems with it, like camera glitches and whatnot. So they're on a good track. And they may very well capture the same spirit as the 2D games yet. But they're close, but not quite there. But I really do want to see unique gameplay from other characters someday, as I've already mentioned in episode 2. That's about it for that topic. I probably lost a few of you because I have a very big problem with explaining details like that, but back to what the gameplay is going on. We've arrived at the final part of Act 3, which is getting up to the boss. And for some reason, something just... I don't know what the hell just happened there. I had rings and a shield and I died instantly. Really? And now, unfortunately, because I decided to take that checkpoint, I have to start every time here with no rings. And you will realize very soon why that is a very bad situation to be in. Even with the shield that you can get here, there's a very good reason why you really want rings. But first you have to get up there. Well, at least Lavazone was forgiving and decided to keep the water level low for me. Of course, what makes this place frustrating, of course, is the high quantity of grounders that just happen to be nearby. And they jump, and of course the camera goes out of view, so they have the element of surprise. But now we finally reached the boss. To be honest, this isn't really a boss fight whatsoever. It's really just advancing up a vertical tunnel in order to escape the rising water levels and get past all the obstacles. And this is where this entire boss fight is an entire dig fest. Because this whole level is, yeah, basically that. Everything is placed in a way that where if you don't get hit by something, something else will. You need really good timing. And to speed things up, past my many unfortunate deaths, we're gonna speed things up gradually as time goes on. Alright. Now we can get the shield again. I've come to get you, Eggman! This time I won't fail! Get back here! Man, my enthusiasm is so out of place right now. Because I know what's gonna happen. Oh, lost my shield. That's okay. We can still catch up to him. Oh, no. Ouch. That's okay. We have more lives. You can just try again. Why does it look like I have 0 lives? You know, from my preview screen's little bad pixelation, it looks like I have 0 lives. That is odd. Alright, Eggman. Here we go again! Even faster this time. Oh, there's my shield. And I got killed by Eggman. What are the odds? Alright, let's try this again. Oh, I got killed by the grounder! Are you serious? A grounder! The grounder of all things! I'm not even gonna go there. And I got killed by a grounder again. Whoopie fucking do. Alright, final attempt. This time I'm pretty sure I managed to actually get to the end of this level. And by the looks of it, I actually only have like 5 lives. Wow. Fantastic. Or is it 6 lives? I can't really tell. Looks like 5. Ugh. Now, a glitch happened here. Oh, let's go to it. Alright, he backs up. And he disappears forever inside that wall. Just for insurance, I hit it repeatedly, but he's gone. I don't understand what happened. I guess he fell to the bottom of the level and just died instantly. Alright, Eggman. Here we go again. Oh boy. This is gonna be annoying. No, it's even more annoying when you get consumed by the water because your movements are a lot more sluggish. In other words, you can't react as fast. I got lucky there. Alright, almost there. This is the last stretch. Alright, we got to the end! Take that! Oh! Okay, alright, let's just get this before I die. Okay. Well, guys, it's the end of Labyrinth Zone. And this has been your commentator, Firon. I hope you enjoyed the commentary for this episode. I'll be seeing you soon. Sayonara.